Inside you right now are two versions of yourself. One is the person you are today, the person who gets by, who does what is expected, who lives within the comfortable confines of the familiar. This is the person who is haunted by a quiet, persistent whisper of what could be. The other version is the person you were born to be, the best version of yourself. This is the person who operates at their full potential, who lives with a fire of purpose in their eyes, who walks through the world with a quiet, unshakable confidence that is earned, not given. This is the person whose life is a masterpiece of their own deliberate creation. For 99% of people, that second version, that best version, will die as a ghost. It will remain a shadow of potential, a dream that fades with the morning light. They will live and die as a rough draft of their own masterpiece, forever wondering what could have been. They will make peace with their ghost. This audiobook is a declaration of war on that peace. It is a call to arms. It is your blueprint for turning that ghost into your reality. The great lie you have been sold is that the best version of yourself is something you find, that it is a matter of luck, of discovering your one true passion, of being in the right place at the right time. This is a lie that breeds passivity, that encourages waiting, that guarantees mediocrity. The truth is this: the best version of yourself is not found. It is forged. It is built. It is constructed brick by painful, glorious brick in the fires of your daily discipline. It is a choice you make not once but 1,000 times every single day. It is the choice to do the hard thing when the easy thing is available. The choice to be the architect of your day, not the victim of your circumstances. The choice to wage war on your own weakness, your own excuses, and your own comfort. This is not about a quantum leap. It is about a daily step. This is not about a sudden transformation. It is about a relentless, methodical process of becoming. This audiobook will give you that process. We will deconstruct the architecture of your current self and give you the blueprints for your new one. We will identify the enemies within, the self-doubt, the procrastination, the fear, and we will give you the weapons to defeat them. We will lay the foundation of a new mindset, erect the pillars of unbreakable habits, and build a fortress of resilience that will make you unstoppable. This journey will not be comfortable. It will require you to confront the parts of yourself you have been avoiding. It will demand that you become a warrior in a world of spectators. But the reward is the greatest prize a human being can ever achieve. The earned self-respect that comes from knowing, with absolute certainty, that you are the master of your own destiny, the creator of your own self. If you are ready to stop being haunted by your potential and start embodying it, if you are ready to kill the ghost of who you could be and give birth to the reality of who you will be, then your work begins now. To stay on this path and continue to receive the hard-hitting truths you need to win, subscribe to this channel right now. Don't be part of the 99% who consume information and do nothing. Be the 1% who commits, acts, and transforms their reality. Subscribe now and let's begin the work. And if you find value by the end of this video, please leave a meaningful comment to keep motivating us to make content like this. Chapter 1. The Unseen Enemy, Declaring War on Your Default Self. Before you can build the best version of yourself, you must first identify and declare war on your greatest enemy. This enemy is not your boss, not your circumstances, not the economy. Your greatest enemy is a powerful, insidious, and masterful saboteur who knows all of your weaknesses, all of your fears, and all of your excuses. Your greatest enemy is your default self. The default self is the person you are when you are not being intentional. It is the product of your past conditioning, your social programming, and your primal brain's relentless drive for comfort, safety, and the path of least resistance. It is the part of you that hits the snooze button. It is the part of you that chooses the junk food over the healthy meal. It is the part of you that opts for a night of mindless scrolling over reading a book that could change your life. It is the voice in your head that whispers, "You can't do it. You're not good enough. Start tomorrow." The 99% of people live their entire lives as a slave to their default self. They are a ship without a captain, drifting on the currents of their own impulses and habits. Their life is not a deliberate creation. It is a series of unconscious reactions. They are living a life that has been chosen for them, not a life they have chosen for themselves. And they wonder why they feel a deep, gnawing sense of emptiness and regret. They are living a second-hand life, dictated by a version of themselves they never consciously agreed to be. The first step in becoming the best version of yourself is a brutal and necessary one. You must look your default self in the eye. You must study its tactics. You must understand its motivations. Its primary motivation is comfort. Its primary tactic is the excuse. Its greatest weapon is the lie of tomorrow. You must see this default self not as the real you, but as a hijacker, a squatter who has taken up residence in the mansion of your potential. And you must serve it an eviction notice. This is a declaration of war. It is a conscious, deliberate decision that you will no longer live on autopilot. You will no longer be a passenger. You will seize the controls. This war is not fought with a single, heroic battle. It is fought in the trenches of your daily choices, in the small, seemingly insignificant moments that make up your day. It is fought in the moment you choose to get out of bed when the alarm rings, instead of hitting snooze. It is fought in the moment you choose to put on your running shoes, instead of collapsing on the couch. It is fought in the moment you choose to speak up in a meeting, instead of staying silent in fear. Each of these choices is a small victory against your default self. Each choice is a blow struck for your best self. This requires you to cultivate a new level of self-awareness. You must become an observer of your own mind. You must learn to hear the voice of your default self without obeying it. When it whispers an excuse, you must learn to recognize it for what it is, a tactic of the enemy, and you must consciously choose to defy it. A powerful practice to begin this war is to give your default self a name. Call it the sloth, the procrastinator, or the comfort seeker. By numbing it, you are externalizing it. It is no longer you. It is this other entity, this saboteur that you are at war with. When the urge to skip your workout arises, you can say, "Ah, that's the comfort seeker talking. I don't listen to him." You are creating a separation between your conscious, best self and the unconscious, default self. You must also understand that the default self is incredibly cunning. It will use your own intelligence against you. It will construct brilliant, logical-sounding arguments for why you should take the easy path. You've had a hard day, you deserve a break. It's more efficient to start on Monday. You must learn to see these justifications not as rational thoughts, but as sophisticated propaganda from the enemy. The 99% believe this propaganda. They accept their own excuses as truth. The winner, the person on the path to their best self, knows that excuses are the nails used to build a house of failure. They have a zero-tolerance policy for them. This is the first battlefield. It is the inner world. Before you can conquer any external challenge, you must first conquer your own internal resistance. You must win the war against the part of you that wants to remain small, safe, and comfortable. This is a war that is fought every day from the moment you wake up to the moment you go to sleep. It is a war that will never be completely over. But with each victory, you grow stronger and your enemy grows weaker. Your best self begins to gain territory. Your default self begins to retreat. This is not a war of hate. It is a war of love. It is a war you are fighting out of a profound love for the person you know you are capable of becoming. You are fighting for your own potential. You are fighting for your own freedom. So, declare your war. Identify your enemy, and begin the noble and necessary fight for the sovereignty of your own soul. Chapter 2: The Architect's Vision, Designing Your Future Self. You have declared war on your default self. You have committed to no longer being a passive drifter. But a war cannot be won with defense alone. A rebellion needs more than just an enemy to fight against. It needs a vision to fight for. If you do not have a clear, compelling, and high-definition picture of the person you are trying to become, your efforts will be scattered, your motivation will wane, and your default self will inevitably reclaim its territory. The second step in this journey is to become the architect of your future. It is the habit of designing, with deliberate and granular detail, the best version of yourself. The 99% of people have a vague and fuzzy desire for a better life. They want more money, to be healthier, to be happier. These are not goals, they are wishes. They are powerless, low-resolution daydreams that have no magnetic pull. They are like a blurry, out-of-focus photograph that inspires no emotion and no action. The winner, the person on the path to their best self, is not a dreamer. They are a designer. They do not have a wish. They have a blueprint. They have taken the time to sit down and create a crystal-clear, high-definition movie of their ideal future and the ideal self who inhabits it. This is not a frivolous exercise in fantasy. This is a critical act of psychological programming. Your brain is a goal-striving mechanism. It is like a heat-seeking missile. But for it to work, it must have a clear and specific target to lock onto. A vague target of more money gives your brain nothing to work with. A specific target of I will build a business that generates $100,000 in net profit per year by solving this specific problem for this specific group of people. is a target your brain can lock onto and begin to work toward, both consciously and subconsciously. The process of designing your future self is a creative and deeply personal one. You must give yourself the permission and the quiet time to do this work. Take out a journal and begin to write in the present tense as if it has already happened. Describe a perfect day in the life of your best self, 5 years from now. What time do you wake up? How does your body feel? What is the first thing you do? What kind of work are you engaged in? What is the quality of your focus? Who are the people you are surrounded by? How do you interact with them? What are you reading? What are you learning? How do you feel at the end of the day? Do not be realistic, be audacious. Do not write what you think is possible, write what you truly want. You are creating the North Star that will guide all of your future decisions. From this grand vision, you must then distill the identity of your best self. What are the core character traits of this person? Are they disciplined? Are they courageous? Are they a relentless learner? Are they a person of impeccable integrity? Are they calm under pressure? Write down these identity traits. This is the code of conduct for the person you are becoming. This blueprint, this list of identity traits, is not something you create once and then file away. It is a living document. It is your personal constitution. You must review it every single day. The best time to do this is in the morning, as part of your daily ritual, after you have created a state of calm and before the world's noise has invaded your mind. You read your vision. You review your identity traits. You are reminding yourself of the person you are fighting to become. You are programming your subconscious mind with the image of your destination. This daily review does two powerful things. First, it creates a psychological gap between the person you are today and the person you are becoming. This gap creates a productive tension, a sense of creative urgency that fuels your motivation. You are constantly aware of the distance you still have to travel. Second, it provides a filter for all of your daily decisions. When you are faced with a choice to do the hard thing or the easy thing, to speak the truth or to stay silent, you can now ask a new and powerful question. What would the best version of myself do in this situation? You are no longer making decisions based on your fleeting moods or your default programming. You are making decisions based on your chosen identity. You are acting as if you are already that person. And by consistently acting as if, you begin the process of becoming. The 99% fail because they have no destination. They are sailing on a vast ocean with no map and no compass, hopping to wash up on the shores of a better life. You will be different. You will be the captain who has a detailed chart of your destination, who knows the coordinates of your ideal self, and who checks that chart every single morning before setting sail for the day. This is the habit that gives your struggle a purpose. It is the habit that transforms random actions into a deliberate construction project. You have declared war on your default self. Now, you have the blueprint for the magnificent self you will build in its place. Chapter 3: The Forge of Discipline, Building the Unbreakable Habit. You have a clear vision of the person you want to become. You have a blueprint, but a blueprint is just a piece of paper. The most beautiful architectural drawing in the world will never become a skyscraper without the hard, unsexy, and relentless work of construction. The raw material of that construction is your daily action, and the force that transforms that action from a sporadic effort into an unstoppable momentum is the fire of discipline. This brings us to the forge. This is where the best version of yourself is not just imagined, but is physically and neurologically built. The third step on this journey is to master the art of the unbreakable habit. The 99% of people have a toxic relationship with discipline. They see it as a punishment, a form of self-deprivation. They believe it is a character trait that you are either born with or you are not. They say things like, "I'm just not a disciplined person." This is a lie. It is an excuse that gives them permission to remain a slave to their impulses. Discipline is not a trait. It is a muscle. It is a skill. And like any muscle, it is built through consistent, progressive training. The person you see as disciplined is simply someone who has spent more time in the mental gym. They have put in the reps. Your mission is to start your training. The way to build the muscle of discipline is through the creation of a single keystone habit. A keystone habit is a foundational habit that, when implemented, creates a chain reaction of positive change throughout your entire life. It is the lead domino. For our purposes, this will be a small daily habit that is directly aligned with the identity of the best version of yourself. The key to making this habit unbreakable is to start stupidly small. The 99% fail because they go too big, too fast. Their motivation is high, so they commit to going to the gym for an hour every day. This is a massive leap from their current reality. It requires a huge amount of willpower. After a week, their motivation wanes, they miss one day, and the entire habit collapses. You will be a strategist. You will choose a habit that is so small, so laughably easy, that it is impossible to say no to. This is the 2-minute rule. Your keystone habit must take less than 2 minutes to perform. If your best self is a physically fit person, your habit is not to work out for an hour. Your habit is to put on your running shoes. If your best self is a writer, your habit is not to write a chapter. Your habit is to write one sentence. If your best self is a meditator, your habit is not to meditate for 30 minutes. Your habit is to sit on the cushion for 60 seconds. The purpose of this atomic habit is not to get the external result. The purpose is to build the muscle of consistency. The purpose is to cast a daily vote for your new identity. When you put on your running shoes, you are casting a vote for "I am a person who exercises." The action is small, but the identity shift it represents is monumental. You are building a winning streak. And this winning streak is what builds the most important foundation of all: self-trust. You are proving to yourself, rep by rep, that you are a person who does what they say they are going to do. Once you have mastered the art of showing up for your 2-minute habit, once you have built a consistent streak, you can then begin to gradually increase the duration and intensity. This is the principle of progressive overload, the same principle used to build physical muscle. After 2 weeks of consistently writing one sentence a day, you might upgrade to writing for 5 minutes. The key is to make the progression so small that it still feels easy. You are always staying below the threshold of your brain's resistance. The unbreakable nature of the habit is also forged by a powerful rule: never miss twice. Perfection is impossible. There will be a day when you are sick, when there is an emergency, when you miss your habit. The 99% see this as a failure. They break their streak, and they use it as an excuse to quit entirely. The winner has a system for immediate course correction. The rule is that you can miss one day, but you are not allowed to miss 2 days in a row. The day after you miss, getting back on track is your absolute #1 priority, no matter how small the effort is. This rule prevents a single slip-up from becoming a downward spiral. It builds resilience, and it destroys the perfectionist mindset that sabotages so many. This is the forge. It is not glamorous. It is the quiet, daily, often boring work of laying one brick. But this is where the masterpiece is built. The 99% are waiting for a quantum leap. You are committing to a daily step. They are waiting for motivation. You are building discipline. What is the 1-2-minute keystone habit that you will commit to starting today? What is the one small action that represents a vote for the best version of yourself? Define it. And then begin your training in the forge. The fire of your daily discipline will burn away the weakness of your default self and temper the steel of the person you are becoming. Chapter 4: The Guardian of the Mind, Curating Your Internal World. The construction of your best self is not just about what you do. It is profoundly shaped by what you consume. Your mind is the most fertile garden in the universe, but if you are not a vigilant and ruthless guardian, it will be overrun by weeds planted by the outside world. The fourth step in becoming the best version of yourself is to seize control of your inputs and to become the master curator of your own internal world. The 99% of people have an open-door policy for their mind. They allow any and all information to enter, unfiltered and unexamined. Their mental diet consists of a constant stream of digital junk food, the fear and outrage of the 24-hour news cycle, the envy and comparison of social media, the mindless distraction of viral videos and celebrity gossip. They are feeding their minds a diet that is guaranteed to produce a state of anxiety, negativity, and intellectual weakness. They are polluting their own garden, and they are wondering why they are not bearing the fruits of a happy and successful life. They are a product of their information environment. The winner, the architect of their best self, understands that their mind is a sacred space. It is a fortress, and they are the guardian at the gate. They are ruthlessly selective about the information, the ideas, and the influences they allow to enter. They are not passive consumers. They are active curators. They understand a fundamental law. What you feed your mind determines the quality of your thoughts, and the quality of your thoughts determines the quality of your actions, and the quality of your actions determines the quality of your life. It all starts with your inputs. The first practice of a mental guardian is the morning media fast. As we've discussed, the first hour of your day is the most critical. You must protect your mind when it is at its most impressionable. This means a strict, non-negotiable ban on all reactive media for at least the first 60 minutes of your day. No news, no social media, no email. You will not allow the chaos, the negativity, and the agendas of others to be the first thing you feed your mind. You will break your fast with your own, deliberately chosen inputs. Your written vision, a chapter of an inspiring book, a period of quiet contemplation. You are setting the mental tone for the day. The second practice is to go on an information diet. You must consciously choose the sources of your information. This means unfollowing the accounts that make you feel angry or inadequate. It means unsubscribing from the email newsletters that just create noise. It means choosing 2 or 3 high-quality, trusted sources for your news and checking them once a day, at a scheduled time, rather than being constantly bombarded by breaking news alerts. You are moving from a state of information obesity to a state of information fitness. You are choosing nutrient-dense information over the empty calories of digital distraction. The third and most powerful practice is to deliberately and consistently feed your mind with the thoughts and ideas of the person you want to become. You must create your own personal board of directors. Who are the people, living or dead, who embody the traits of your best self? You must make it a daily habit to spend time with their minds. Read their books, listen to their interviews, study their biographies. You are what you eat, and you think what you read. By consistently immersing yourself in the thinking of great minds, you are upgrading your own. Their standards become your standards. Their beliefs about what is possible start to infect your own. You are deliberately shaping your own neural pathways to mirror those of the people you admire most. This is not about just consuming positive quotes. This is about a deep, systematic study of excellence. The 99% are in a constant conversation with the lowest common denominator of thought. The winner is in a constant conversation with the greatest minds in history. This habit is about taking radical ownership of your own perspective. The 99% believe that their feelings and their outlook on life are a reaction to their circumstances. The winner knows that their outlook is a product of what they have chosen to focus on. They are the director of their own mental movie. They can choose to focus the camera on the evidence of what is wrong with the world, or they can choose to focus it on the evidence of what is possible. By curating your inputs, you are taking control of that camera. This is a daily battle. The world is designed to pull you into a state of distraction and negativity. You must be a vigilant and powerful guardian. Protect the gates of your mind. Starve the weeds of negativity and fear, and deliberately, consistently, and relentlessly plant the seeds of wisdom, of courage, and of possibility. The garden of your mind will, in turn, produce the beautiful and abundant harvest of your best life. Chapter 5. The Arena of Action, Stepping Out of the Comfort Zone. You have a vision, you have a discipline, you have a curated mind. You have built a powerful internal engine. But an engine, no matter how powerful, is useless if the car is left in the garage. The fifth, and perhaps most terrifying, step in becoming the best version of yourself is to step into the arena. It is the habit of consistently and deliberately taking action outside of your comfort zone. Your comfort zone is the invisible cage that has been built around you by your default self. It is the collection of all the familiar routines, people, and behaviors that feel safe and predictable. It is a place where there is no risk, no struggle, and therefore no growth. The 99% of people live their entire lives within the walls of this cage. They are terrified of the world that lies beyond it. They are afraid of failure, of rejection, of looking foolish. Their primary motivation is the avoidance of discomfort. And in their quest to be comfortable, they sacrifice their own potential. They choose the slow, comfortable death of their dreams over the sharp, temporary pain of growth. The best version of yourself does not live inside your comfort zone. It is waiting for you out in the arena, in the dust and the sweat and the struggle of the real world. To become that person, you must have the courage to open the cage door and step out. You must embrace the habit of strategic discomfort. This is not about being reckless. It is about being a scientist of your own growth. It is about identifying the specific fears and limitations that are holding you back, and then designing small, manageable experiments to confront them. The feeling you are looking for is that knot in your stomach, that slight increase in your heart rate, that voice in your head that says, "This is scary." For the 99%, that feeling is a stop sign. For you, the aspiring best version of yourself, that feeling must become a compass. It must become the signal that you are heading in the right direction, the direction of growth. If you are afraid of public speaking, your arena is the next meeting where you have an opportunity to speak up, even for just 15 seconds. If you are afraid of rejection, your arena is the sales call you have been procrastinating on. If you are afraid of failure, your arena is the new project that is just beyond your current skill level. The key is to start with an action that is terrifying, but not paralyzing. You are trying to stretch your comfort zone, not snap it. The 99% are waiting to feel confident before they step into the arena. This is the great paralysis loop. The winner understands that confidence is not a prerequisite for action. It is a byproduct of it. It is the scar tissue that forms after you have been in the fight. The only way to build the confidence to do the scary thing is to do the scary thing, scared. You must act your way into a new way of feeling. One of the most powerful practices for this is to adopt the rejection is the goal mindset. For any area where you fear rejection, you will set a goal not to get a yes, but to collect a certain number of no's. If you are in sales, your goal for the week might be to get 20 no's. This reframes the entire game. Every no is no longer a failure. It is a win. It is a point on your scoreboard. This desensitizes you to the sting of rejection and allows you to take massive action without being emotionally attached to the outcome. You must also learn to separate your identity from the performance. When you step into the arena and you fail, which you will, that is not a verdict on your worth as a person. It is simply a data point. It is a lesson. The 99% personalize failure. They think, "I failed, therefore I am a failure." The winner analyzes failure. They think, "The strategy failed. What can I learn from this so that I can be more effective next time?" They are not their results. They are the learner. the experimenter, the warrior who is constantly getting smarter and stronger from their battles. The arena is where the theory of your best self becomes the reality. It is where your vision is tested, where your discipline is forged into real-world strength, and where your curated mind is put into practice. The 99% will spend their lives in the spectator stands, analyzing the game, criticizing the players, and dreaming of what it would be like to be in the arena. They will die with their music still inside them. You will be different. You will have the courage to leap over the railing, to get onto the field, and to play. You will get knocked down. You will get bruised. You will fail. But you will be in the game. And it is only in the game that the best version of yourself can ever be born. Chapter 6: The Physical Foundation, Forging a Body of Excellence. The journey to become the best version of yourself is a demanding one. It requires immense amounts of energy, focus, and resilience. And there is a fundamental biological truth that the 99% of people completely ignore at their own peril. Your mind and your body are not two separate systems. They are one, deeply interconnected unit. The quality of your physical health is the foundation upon which your entire capacity for high performance is built. The sixth step in this transformation is to stop treating your body as an afterthought and to start forging it into a vessel of excellence. The 99% have a dysfunctional relationship with their physical selves. They see their body as either a source of shame or as a vehicle for pleasure. They abuse it with poor nutrition. They deprive it of the sleep it desperately needs, and they allow it to atrophy in a state of sedentary neglect. They live in a constant state of low-grade physical malaise. They are tired, they are foggy, they are weak, and they accept this as a normal and unavoidable part of life. They are trying to build a skyscraper of ambition on a foundation of mud. It will inevitably collapse. The winner, the person building their best self, understands that their physical body is their single most important asset. It is the biological engine that powers their entire life. They are not just the CEO of their life. They are the chief operating officer of their own biology. They do not see taking care of their health as a chore. They see it as a strategic imperative, a non-negotiable component of their success system. This is not about vanity. It is not about having a perfect body. It is about creating a state of high energy, of mental clarity, and of physical resilience that allows you to show up as your best self in every other area of your life. This is built on three pillars: disciplined movement, intentional fuel, and sacred rest. The first pillar is disciplined movement. Your body was designed to move. A sedentary life is a slow-motion death sentence for your potential. The best version of yourself is not a person who is physically weak. You must make consistent, challenging physical exercise a non-negotiable part of your identity. You will schedule your workouts in your calendar with the same seriousness as a critical business meeting. You will see this not as time off from your work, but as a high-yield investment in your work. The discipline you forge in the gym, the resilience you build by pushing through that last, painful repetition, is directly transferable to the challenges you will face in your career and your life. The person who can conquer a grueling workout is the person who can conquer a difficult project. The second pillar is intentional fuel. The 99% eat for entertainment and convenience. Their diet is a chaotic roller coaster of sugar highs and processed food crashes, and they wonder why their mood and their focus are so unstable. You must become the conscious architect of your own nutrition. You will see food not as a source of fleeting pleasure, but as the information you are giving your cells, as the fuel you are putting into your high-performance engine. You will prioritize whole, unprocessed foods. You will hydrate relentlessly. You are not on a diet. You are adopting a lifestyle of high-performance nutrition. You cannot expect to have $1 million mind if you are fueling it with a dollar menu diet. The third pillar is sacred rest. In a culture that worships the hustle and wears sleep deprivation as a badge of honor, the winner knows that this is a fool's game. Sleep is not a luxury. It is the most potent performance-enhancing process your body has. It is when your muscles repair, your brain cleanses itself of metabolic waste, and your memories are consolidated. The 99% sacrifice their sleep for a few more hours of low-quality work or entertainment, and then they pay the price the next day with a brain that is operating at half speed. The winner protects their sleep with a religious ferocity. They have a disciplined wind-down routine. They create a cool, dark, and quiet sleep environment, and they make 8 hours of quality sleep a non-negotiable target. They know that the victory of tomorrow is won in the bed of tonight. These 3 pillars are not separate habits. They are a single, integrated system for building your physical foundation. When you are moving your body consistently, fueling it with clean energy, and giving it the rest it needs to recover, you will unlock a level of vitality, mental clarity, and emotional stability that the 99% will never experience. You will have more energy to pour into your work, into your relationships, and into your own growth. You will become more resilient to stress. Your mood will stabilize. Your confidence will increase because you will feel a deep, primal sense of mastery over your own physical self. The best version of yourself is not tired, foggy, and weak. The best version of yourself is vibrant, sharp, and strong. Start forging that version today. Your body is not a liability. It is your greatest ally in the war for your own potential. Chapter 7: The Social Architect: Curating Your Circle of Influence. No person is an island. The journey to become the best version of yourself is not a solo mission, conducted in a vacuum. You are a product of your environment, and the most powerful and influential part of that environment is the people with whom you surround yourself. The 7th step in this transformation is to stop being a passive recipient of your social world and to become a deliberate architect of it. The 99% of people leave their social circle entirely to chance. Their primary relationships are a random collection of family they were born into, friends from their past, and colleagues from their job. They are surrounded by default by people who are likely also on the default path. They are in an echo chamber of mediocrity, where complaining is the common language, where cynicism is seen as wisdom, and where ambition is viewed with suspicion. They are like a fresh apple in a barrel of rotten ones, and the rot will inevitably spread. They do not realize that their social circle is a powerful force that is either pulling them up toward their best self or dragging them down into the gravity of the average. The winner, the person on the path to their best self, understands a profound law of human nature. You are the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. This is not a metaphor. It is a reality. Their attitudes, their beliefs, their standards, and their habits will seep into your own consciousness through a process of social osmosis. The winner, therefore, does not leave their inner circle to chance. They are a ruthless and strategic curator of their social influences. This is not about being a snob or abandoning your old friends. It is about a conscious and strategic decision to spend the majority of your time and your deepest energy with people who embody the qualities of the person you are trying to become. The first step in this process is to conduct a relationship audit. You must look with brutal honesty at the key people in your life and ask a simple question for each one. Does this person energize me or drain me? Do they inspire me to be better, or do they encourage my weaknesses? Are they a plus or a minus in the equation of my life? You must become aware of the subtle and not so subtle ways that your relationships are shaping you. The friend who only wants to gossip and complain is a minus. The mentor who challenges your thinking and holds you to a higher standard is a plus. The family member who constantly doubts your ambitions is a minus. The partner who believes in you and supports your growth is a plus. Based on this audit, you must make some difficult but necessary choices. This involves a 3-pronged strategy: limit, expand, and become. First, you must limit your exposure to the negative influences. This does not necessarily mean cutting people out of your life, although in some toxic cases it might. It means consciously reducing the amount of time and emotional energy you invest in the relationships that are pulling you down. You can love someone from a distance. You are the guardian of your own energy, and you must protect it from the vampires who would drain it. Second, you must expand your circle by actively seeking out relationships with the people you admire. You must have the courage to get into rooms where you are not the smartest or most successful person. Join a mastermind group. Find a mentor and offer to work for them for free just to be in their orbit. Attend seminars and conferences. You must be proactive. The people you want to be around are not going to come knocking on your door. You must go out and find them. Third, and most importantly, you must become the kind of person that other high achievers want to be around. The best way to attract amazing people into your life is to become an amazing person yourself. You must become a person of value. Be a giver, not a taker. Be a source of positive energy, not a black hole of negativity. Be a person who is relentlessly learning and growing. Excellence is a magnet. When you are committed to your own path of becoming your best self, you will naturally attract other people who are on the same journey. The 99% are afraid of this process. They are afraid of being judged by people who are more successful. They are afraid of the discomfort of outgrowing their old relationships. They choose the comfort of the familiar over the challenge of growth. You must be different. You must have the courage to be the architect of your own social world. You must understand that the people you surround yourself with are either the headwind that is holding you back or the tailwind that is propelling you forward. Choose your tailwind. Curate your circle of influence. And you will find that your journey to your best self will not only be faster, but it will also be a lot less lonely. Chapter 8: The Resilient Warrior, Forging Strength from Struggle. The path to becoming the best version of yourself is not a smooth, paved highway. It is a rugged, uphill climb, filled with obstacles, setbacks, and failures. There will be times when you fall. There will be times when you are beaten down. There will be times when the voice of your default self will scream that you should just give up and retreat to the comfort of the familiar. The eighth, and perhaps most defining, step in this journey is what you do in those moments. It is the habit of forging a resilient spirit, of learning to use your struggles not as a reason to quit, but as the very fuel for your growth. The 99% of people are fragile. Their confidence is a delicate, glass-like thing. A single significant failure, a failed business, a lost job, a major rejection can shatter their self-belief completely. They see the setback as a final verdict, a definitive judgment on their worth. I failed, they think, therefore I am a failure. They personalize the event, allowing it to define them. And from that point on, they are terrified of taking another risk, and they retreat permanently to the safety of their comfort zone. The winner, the person forging their best self, has a different operating system. They are not fragile, they are antifragile. An antifragile system is one that does not just withstand shocks and stresses, it gets stronger from them. The muscle is antifragile, it grows back stronger after being torn by a heavy weight. The immune system is antifragile, it becomes more robust after being exposed to a pathogen. The resilient warrior has learned to build an antifragile mind. They do not just survive their struggles, they feast on them. They use them as the resistance that is necessary to build their strength. The first principle of the resilient warrior is to depersonalize failure. You must separate your identity from your results. The outcome of your actions is not a measure of your inherent worth. It is simply a data point. It is feedback from the world about the effectiveness of your current strategy. If your strategy failed, the only logical response is not to collapse into a heap of self-pity, but to analyze the data, extract the lesson, adjust the strategy, and get back in the arena, now smarter and more experienced than you were before. The 99% see failure as an event to be mourned. The winner sees it as an education to be embraced. The second principle is to reframe your narrative. After a setback, every person tells themselves a story. The 99% tell a victim story. The world is against me. I'm so unlucky. This always happens to me. This story is a cage of powerlessness. The resilient warrior tells a hero story. They see the obstacle not as a roadblock, but as a necessary and important part of their journey. It is the dragon they must slay to rescue the princess. It is the challenge that has been placed in their path to test them, to teach them, and to forge them into the hero they are destined to become. They ask a different set of questions. What is the opportunity hidden within this adversity? How is this challenge forcing me to become stronger? What is the gift in this struggle? They are the author of their own story, and they always choose to write a narrative of empowerment and growth. The third principle is to practice voluntary hardship. You must not wait for the world to test you. You must test yourself. You must build your resilience muscle in the gym of daily, strategic discomfort. This is the practice of doing hard things simply for the sake of doing hard things. Take a cold shower. Complete a grueling workout. Wake up an hour earlier than you need to. By consistently and voluntarily exposing yourself to small, controlled doses of discomfort, you are teaching your brain and your body that you can handle it. You are expanding your capacity for resilience. You are building calluses on your mind so that when the real, unavoidable hardships of life arrive, you are not a soft, untested novice. You are a battle-hardened warrior, ready for the fight. The 99% pray for an easy life. That is a prayer for weakness. The winner prays for the strength to endure a difficult one. They understand that the oak tree does not grow strong in a sheltered valley. It grows strong on a windswept ridge where its roots are forced to dig deep and its trunk is forced to become thick and powerful to withstand the storm. Your struggles are your storm. Do not curse them. Do not run from them. Stand your ground. Face the wind. And let them be the force that forges you into the unbreakable, resilient, and powerful best version of yourself. Chapter 9. The Generous Victor, the Power of Contribution. You are now a formidable individual. You are an architect, a warrior, a disciplined creator of your own reality. You have built an internal fortress of strength and an external life of progress. You are well on your way to becoming the best version of yourself. But there is one final, crucial step in this evolution. It is a step that the 99% often miss, even those who achieve a measure of conventional success. It is the step that transforms a life of achievement into a life of meaning. The ninth step is to become a generous victor, to understand that the ultimate purpose of becoming your best self is not just for yourself, but for the world. The 99% operate from a mindset of accumulation. Their journey of self-improvement is fundamentally a selfish one. They are trying to get more money, more status, more happiness. Their focus is on filling their own cup. This can lead to a certain level of success, but it is often a hollow victory, a life that is rich in possessions but poor in purpose. They reach the top of the ladder they have been climbing, only to realize it was leaning against the wrong wall. The winner, the truly fulfilled best version of themselves, understands a profound truth. A cup that is only ever filled will eventually become stagnant. The only way to keep the water fresh is to let it flow. They shift from a mindset of accumulation to a mindset of contribution. They understand that the ultimate expression of their strength is not how much they can hold, but how much they can give. The purpose of becoming strong is to be able to lift others. The purpose of becoming wealthy is to be able to provide for others. The purpose of becoming wise is to be able to guide others. This is the great paradox of fulfillment. The more you give, the more you receive. When you shift your focus from your own needs to the needs of others, you unlock a new and infinitely more powerful source of motivation. You are no longer just fighting for your own success. You are fighting for a cause that is bigger than yourself. This is the ultimate fuel. It will carry you through the days when your personal motivation wanes. You will push through the struggle not just for you, but for the people you are serving. This habit of contribution is not something you add on at the end of your journey once you have made it. It is a practice you must integrate into your life right now at every stage. You do not need to be a millionaire to be a philanthropist. You do not need to be a guru to be a mentor. You can start from where you are with what you have. The first way to practice this is to become a teacher. As you travel on your path of becoming your best self, you are learning valuable lessons. You are just a few steps ahead of where you used to be. You have a responsibility to turn around and share what you have learned with those who are just starting their journey. Mentor someone. Share your insights. The act of teaching is not only a gift to the other person, it is a gift to yourself. It forces you to clarify your own understanding, and it deepens your own mastery of the material. The second way to practice this is to lead with generosity in your network. As we've discussed, you must become a giver, a person who is constantly looking for ways to connect people and to help others solve their problems, with no immediate expectation of return. You are using your growing power and influence not just to advance your own agenda, but to create a rising tide that lifts all boats. The third way is to see your work itself as an act of service. Whatever your profession is, you are solving a problem for someone. You must fall in love not just with the rewards of your work, but with the act of serving the people you are working for. The 99% see their work as a transaction, their time for a paycheck. The winner sees their work as a transformation, their skill for the betterment of their client, their customer, their company. This infuses their daily work with a sense of meaning and purpose that a mere paycheck can never provide. The best version of yourself is not an isolated peak of personal achievement. It is a lighthouse, standing tall and strong, shining its light to help guide other ships through the storm. The ultimate measure of your success will not be what you have accumulated for yourself, but what you have contributed to the world. It will be the positive ripple effect of your strength, your wisdom, and your generosity. So, as you build yourself, you must also be thinking about how you will give of yourself. Who can you help? What problem can you solve? What contribution can you make? This is the habit that transforms a successful life into a significant one. And that is a victory worth fighting for. Chapter 10: The Infinite Game, a lifelong commitment to becoming. We have reached the end of this blueprint, but we are at the beginning of an infinite journey. We have laid out the 9 fundamental steps to build the best version of yourself, from declaring war on your default self to becoming a generous victor. But there is one final, all-encompassing habit that you must adopt, a mindset that will ensure this transformation is not a temporary project, but a lifelong identity. The 10th and final step is to commit to the infinite game of becoming. The 99% of people view self-improvement as a finite game. It has a beginning and an end. The game is lose 20 pounds, or get the promotion, or finish the degree. They play the game, and if they win, they feel a fleeting sense of accomplishment, and then they stop playing. They arrive. They reach a plateau, and they build a comfortable home there. Their growth has an endpoint. The winner, the person who truly becomes the best version of themselves, understands that this is a delusion. There is no finish line. There is no point of arrival. The journey of becoming your best self is not a finite game that you win. It is an infinite game that you play for the rest of your life. The objective of an infinite game is not to win, but to continue playing to perpetuate the game. The goal is not to be the best version of yourself, as if it were a static, final state. The goal is to be in a constant, dynamic, and joyful process of becoming a better version of yourself every single day. When you adopt this mindset, your entire relationship with success, failure, and the process itself is transformed. Your habits are no longer a means to an end. They are the way you play the game. The joy is not just in achieving the goal. The joy is in the daily practice, in the struggle, in the reps. A setback is no longer a loss. It is simply a move in the game, a piece of feedback that allows you to play with more wisdom in the next round. The only way to truly lose the infinite game is to stop playing. This mindset is the ultimate source of resilience and sustainable motivation. Your motivation is no longer tied to a far-off, finite goal. Your motivation is found in the daily challenge of showing up and playing the game with excellence. You are not trying to be better than anyone else. You are only trying to be better than the person you were yesterday. This is a game you can win every single day. This is a lifelong commitment. It is the decision that you will never be done. You will always be a student. You will always be a work in progress. You will always be seeking the next challenge, the next level of growth, the next mountain to climb. This is not an exhausting thought. It is the most exciting and energizing thought of all. It means your life will be an endless adventure of evolution and discovery. The 99% are sprinting toward a finish line, and once they cross it, they are left with a sense of emptiness. You are engaged in a magnificent, infinite journey where every step is its own reward. The best version of yourself is not a destination. It is a direction. It is the North Star that you are constantly navigating toward, but that you will never fully reach because as you grow, your potential for what is possible grows with you. So as we conclude, I want you to release the pressure of arriving. Release the need to be perfect, and instead make a simple, profound, and lifelong commitment. Commit to the game. Commit to the process. Commit to the daily, humble, and glorious work of becoming. The person you are today is just your current state. It is not your final form. The war against your default self is not a war you win once. It is a war you choose to fight every morning. The blueprint of your best self is not a static document. It is one you will revise and upgrade for the rest of your life. The forge of discipline is never cold. The arena of action is always waiting. This is the game. And the prize is not a trophy at the end. The prize is the strength, the wisdom, and the character you forge in the playing. The prize is the person you become. Now go and play. The closing. The final words have been spoken. The blueprint for your becoming has been laid bare. You started this journey as a person haunted by the ghost of their own potential. You now possess the knowledge, the strategies, and the mindset to bring that ghost to life, to make it your reality. You now know the truth that the 99% will never accept. The best version of yourself is not a gift you are given, but a masterpiece you build with your own two hands, forged in the fire of your daily choices. The map is in your hands, but the map is not the territory. The knowledge you have absorbed is a powerful seed, but it is still just a seed. It will bear no fruit unless it is planted in the fertile soil of your own action and watered with the discipline of your consistency. Most people will listen to this. They will feel inspired. They will agree. And then tomorrow, they will choose the comfort of their default self. They will choose the familiar cage over the terrifying freedom of the open sky. But you are not most people. You have stayed to the end because you are an architect. You are a warrior. You are the one who is willing to do the hard work that a magnificent life demands. The journey from the person you are to the person you will become is not a long and arduous one. It is as short as your next decision. It is the decision to wake up on time tomorrow. It is the decision to keep that one tiny promise to yourself. It is the decision to take one small, fearful step into the arena. It is in these moments that your new self is born again and again. This is no longer just about self-improvement. This is about self-creation. This is about earning your own admiration, which is the only form of validation that will ever truly satisfy your soul. It is about being able to look at the person in the mirror and know, with a deep and quiet certainty, that you are not leaving your potential on the table. You are not dying with your music still inside you. The time for learning is over. The time for becoming has begun. The war is waiting. The blueprint is ready. The forge is hot. Your best self is not a distant dream. It is a choice, and it is a choice that is waiting for you right now. Go and choose.